So Mila, you've been here since Friday. Like, what have you been getting into since you've been here?
Man, everything that I can get my hands on. I've walked the Brooklyn Bridge.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that.
Yes. I went to the Whitney Museum, the Museum of Sex. What else? City Island.
Okay.
What else? I walked past the Empire State Building. And
Did you get 42nd?
What's that?
42nd Street, Times Square.
Oh yeah. But Times Square, like I always do Times Square. So this trip, I kind of went to do stuff that I've never done before. But yeah, I definitely went to. I went to Times Square the first day we were here. I just love the lights.
So back to the Brooklyn Bridge. I saw like earlier on your Instagram page that you almost was run over by 2 bikers.
Yeah, because
girl,
I was, I decided, the thing is when I was walking, I was on the right side. But then when I got the bright idea to go on Instagram Live, then, you get into your own world.
You're in your own zone, not even paying attention.
Yeah, then I got cussed out twice. But I hit the swerve real quick and I didn't get hit.
Good, because I was hoping you got it back here in one piece.
Right, it was a close call.
All right, so I want to talk about, like, I know you're a well-seasoned artist in the industry, going from girl groups to solo artists. Talk about that transition.
Well, the transition, I grew up in groups like my whole life, so I was kind of used to always like being like in a pack, and not only that too, I was just like in a big family, so I'm just was always used to like team, so it was definitely like something that I had to get used to. Cause it's like, even like something as simple as just like traveling, when you're in a group, it's like, it's fun. Like, right. You have like a whole bunch, cause I was friends with and then family members with one, at the groups I was in. So I definitely had to get used to like being alone. Cause I'm like not a person who likes to be alone. So and that was probably the hardest part. Yeah, for sure.
And then now from a solo artist, like leaving the label and going independent, talk about that transition.
That was another transition. I mean, it was just something that I just had to just like go for it, and not kind of overthink it. Cause I'm a Scorpio, and I tend to overthink things and like talk myself out of things, to say everything why it won't work. And then, I just kind of got the balls and just like, gotta go for it.
Great move.
So, yeah.
And then we're gonna talk about like your recent project, Dopamine.
Yes.
Now, when I heard about Dopamine, I'm like, that's a really, no pun intended, really dope name for an album. Like, seriously.
But I'm glad you said Dopamine, because some people are like, Dopamine. I'm like,
that's a shame.
Okay, that too.
That's a shame. No, Dopamine. So can you talk about like, where did the title come from? Why that name?
So at the time when I was recording a lot of the songs, I was reading a book called This Is Your Brain on Music, and it's basically like just kind of showing like the science of like like how your brain works, and like kind of like why you're always stuck on certain songs, or why certain songs can kind of get into your psyche, just certain things. It's just like really interesting, and that kind of sparked the kind of idea of that. I don't know if I came across the word in that book, but I just know that book kind of led me to that word some kind of way. Anyway, and then my dad's a doctor, so I started talking to him about it. He's like, yeah, dopamine, that's like what's released when it's like from your pleasure center, like when you feel good, music, food, whatever. So of course music, I'm like, oh yeah, this is how this music makes me feel. I feel good, shout out to James Brown. And then that's just what it was. And then too, I do like the way it sounds, like the fact that it has dope in it. I was like, okay, this works, and it had a ring to it. So
what gets your dopamines released then? Like
mostly food. No, honestly, food, music, good love. What else? Shopping, of course.
We have to throw that in there. That cannot be passed. So I looked at the album cover. Where was that picture taken? The one with the white
the bikini with the bubble jacket?
Yeah.
That was taken at the Standard Hotel in downtown LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why that picture for this album though?
Well, for me, honestly, like I've actually never shot in a bikini before, so it's like you always kind of want to just do something different for each project that you do, just your evolution. And I was just like, stepping into spring, summer, and that's kind of what the music sounded like to me. And just I had this, I don't know, I liked the vibe of the shoot. It just felt new, it felt refreshing, and so
Cool. and explain.
Had glasses on, you know what I'm saying?
I know, I was like, I definitely
gotta
the jacket. So explain like the differences between, you know, Dopamine and your last 2 projects. Like, what's the difference?
The main difference is that it's a full-length project. It is an EP with bonus tracks, but you know, the first projects that I put out were, you know, 5 songs here, 6 songs there. So I just kind of felt like I wanted to have, you know, a fuller lengther. That I just made up some words. A fuller lengther. No,
right. Do your thing. Make up words here.
You know, a lengthier project, and then they had 3 videos on there as well.
Yeah.
So I also worked with one producer for the whole thing, and that was like on purpose, just cohesively, and just like we caught a vibe, and everything just had like sonically, it just sounded like one long piece. You know what I mean? But like in a good way, not like every song sounds the same. But yeah, so we just have like a really good chemistry. Yeah, so me and him just kind of like, he produced everything and we co-wrote everything, and it was just like in the right zone.
So walk me through the creative process, like on this album. Like, what were you thinking about? Like, what inspired the writing of the songs?
Life, you know, just things that I've gone through, or you know, some of them too aren't necessarily something that I've gone through, just maybe like a friend or whatnot. You know, things around me, but. Like I said, me and him just kind of like locked in, and usually when we know, like, it's because he's the one who actually did Kicking Back, and sometimes like we know, I mean, obviously I record like all the time, and then sometimes you could just know when you're starting a song, like, I'm not really feeling this, or like, you know, and then you got to go back to scratch, and then it's like, but when we got in the zone, like we were just like knocking them out, like whenever the ones aren't for us, and we doing like 2.5 songs a day, we're like, okay, like, so I was just like, let's just go until we do one that's just like, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what we did. We were just like knocking out like 2.5 songs a day, and then like in under a month we had like all these songs. I was like, let's just pick like the best, you know, 12, 13 songs. And really at first I was gonna do 10, but then it was like there were still some that was just like, no, but we can't cut this one off, and it was just like, it was really hard to even narrow it down to the ones that did, you know, end up on there. But yeah, that was kind of what it did. We just kind of locked away and zoned out and recorded.
So you're locked away, zoning out, and like,
and it was just like me and him, you know what I'm saying? I don't do all the extras in the studio, you know, the whole crew, and I don't know. I like to be focused, get it done. My dog do be in the room though.
You got that.
My little beagle.
So talk to me, like, which song on the project is like, it really hit home, like, this is my song? I mean, obviously all songs on the project are have some place like sacred in your heart, but like, what was the one song that's like this is it?
Which one? I mean, it depends on what mood I'm in, but I really like No Fucks.
Yeah.
Just because, like, for me, like, I was excited to do, like, I've never really done a ballad or like a piano song, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, it was just cool to try and like just try a different sound, you know what I'm saying? Even though like it's not like it's like a big deal, like, oh, okay, people sing on piano all the time, but just for me personally, like in my career, I've never done that. So I was like excited to like slow it down and kind of like do a more simple, you know what I'm saying? So like, cause I'm usually like high energy, like, you know, whatever. So that was, and plus the message, just like not giving a fuck, like we've all
usually is high energy. So for you to bring it back to like just mellow,
I really do like that one a lot. No Fucks.
No Fucks.
It's one of my favorites. That one started off.
Okay. Talk about the No Fucks video though. Like, where was that shot?
That was shot. It's like an hour out of LA. Well, maybe no. It's like an hour and 20 minutes out. In Lake Elsinore. That's the lake, and it's like, it was scary because it was real cold, and that thing I was on was really moving.
Rocking. I'm like, she's really
and the thing is, like, we wanted to do a video like, you know, without any edits, or and then we had to do it like right when the sun was coming down. So I only had like 5 times to do it, and each time I was like, I can't swim. Okay, so I'm like, so look, if I trip, I'm gonna roll and I'm gonna just play it off because we can't edit it right. But I was like, I'm not falling in this green water. So, but it was exciting. It, like, the pressure ended up making it fun, but it was funny. Like, if we had behind the scenes, y'all would have been rolling. Because like, even like the cameraman, you know, it was like all steady. Like, he had to hold it. It was like, it was definitely challenging for sure.
I salute you because I can't swim. That would not be me. Yeah. No, that wasn't happening.
That thing was moving. And later it was getting higher and higher. I was like, okay, like, we got to get it on this next shot.
What about Move? That video.
Move.
Like, how much fun was that? That was
real fun. Yeah, because I mean, Asha and Jazz, like, they're my friends as well as my dancers, and we're always just like, you just can't take us anywhere. Like, we just turn up wherever we go. So it was like literally like us playing in front of a camera,
around, just having fun.
Right.
And directed that one.
Yeah. And I just wanted to just have a fun video, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, like I grew up, you know, watching all the 90s stuff, like Busta Rhymes, Missy, and all that. And I just feel like that aesthetic and just that energy I miss, you know what I mean, of artists just like having fun, not taking stuff too serious and just, you know, like wilding out. So that's kind of just the idea I have for that video.
I appreciate you bringing that back.
Yeah, I just wanted some crazy props and that's just acting a fool. So that's what we did.
So talk about like, what are your musical inspirations? Like who inspired you for dancing, music? Like who inspired you?
Growing up, it was Prince, Janet, and TLC. Those were like my favorite. Prince, just
I get
like,
that vibe.
Yeah, my dad, that's all he played in the house. First concert I ever went to. Janet, obviously, just because I just feel like she's an all-around entertainer, like acting, singing, dancing, songwriting. And then TLC, I mean, because like growing up, like I was always like a tomboy, so like when I saw them, I was like, oh, like there's girls like me, you know what I mean? They were like kind of wild, fun, you know what I'm saying? But still always had like good messages too, so those were definitely who I looked up to. Like,
and you talked about Janet being your first person you've seen live in concert, right?
No, Prince actually was,
But you said you've seen Janet as well, like she's one of your inspirations.
I've probably seen Janet the most though, like in person.
Do you remember your first time performing? Like how was that? Like could you walk me back through that?
My first time? Honestly, no, I don't. No, I do. Actually, this is crazy. Well, no. It depends, cause see, group, solo, let's do solo. My first solo performance, believe it or not, cause group I can't remember, but my first solo performance, right after the group didn't work out, was Apollo.
Oh.
And I was so nervous, cause I was like, you know, most of the time, like when you go through, you know, like for instance, when I was in the groups, usually your first shows, you know, you're performing at the mall or you're performing at high schools, you're doing like, you know, the shows that are getting you ready for the show. I'm like, oh, yeah, your first show is Apollo. I'm like, are you serious? Like, cause I know, like, y'all be like, if y'all like something, it's like, no.
You got to go.
But they showed me love, but I was like super nervous, cause that was literally my first show. Like, I hadn't had no promo shows before then, no nothing. So, yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, but it turned out okay.
That's good. So you're not a Apollo feeling. That's good. Talk about like growing up. You know, like how was it growing up with all your siblings? How many siblings do you have?
5 that was in the same like household. Yeah, now, but technically I got 8.
Right.
Yeah, but it was crazy. Our house was just always like, first of all, we were all like only like a year and a half apart, so it was just like we all this loud, you know what I'm saying, all of our friends, like our house was the house to come over.
Right.
My dad had a studio in the back, you know what I'm saying, and it was just like, it was just fun, you know what I'm saying. Like our parents definitely supported us at a young age of like being in the arts, even though technically I started off dancing, but it was still like, you know, supported. Like my mom was okay, if that's what you guys want to do, like then you gonna do it, you gonna go be in a dance company. So we was dancing like 5 days out of the week. And then through there, you know, we ended up getting a agent who would send us out like on different calls for dancing, and then so it was just like always going on auditions. Right. It's like we were like working kind of like at a pretty early age to where we had to leave school. I left school, not left school because I finished school, but I'm saying home study. Yeah, not physically going to school around 7th grade. Yeah, so
I mean, you had supportive parents. They weren't really strict on you or anything.
No, they were pretty open. Like they let us listen to pretty much like anything we wanted. And yeah, the first album I bought was The Chronic. But yeah, but we turned out okay.
All right, cool. And then you talked about what about your grandfather? I know he's Japanese, right?
Yes,
so he's Japanese. Could you do any memorable moments with him growing up?
I mean, our family's close, and we like a lot of times we're like in the same household as our grandparents. So it was just like having like another dad. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Have you been to Japan?
I have been to Japan. I've been twice, and I love it.
Hey, that's
sushi's
dope.
bomb.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So like out of all your siblings, would you say like you're the fun one, like out of all of them, or like where do you fit?
No, I think they would tell you. Yeah, I'm definitely the craziest, and like I'm that one. Like they all blame all that on me. Like only like, and when I'm with any of them, they're like the most random things will happen, and they're like, this only happens when we're out with you. Like I'm like, but that's just me. Like I'm the type to where if I'm bored and I can't sleep, I'll be like, we about to go to Target and play on some carts. Like, I'm just like, I'm a big kid. Like literally, like I don't like to sit still. I don't like to be in the house, and it's just that's why my mother at a very young age was like, Jamila, you need to channel this energy somewhere because you're too much. Like, yeah, I've always just been like very like hyperactive. Like you can see now, I'm just like talking with my hands and stuff.
It was fine. What about, have you ever like gotten into like any trouble like with your sisters, like because of all that energy, just like all over the place or anything?
No, I wasn't a bad kid. Like, I rarely got in trouble. Like we would bicker for like taking each other's clothes or something like that.
I mean, that's normal sister stuff.
Right, normal. But other than that, no. Like we never like fist fought. Like we weren't those type of sisters and brothers, right?
That's good. You don't really find it a lot, like with big families like that. Sometimes it's usually like sibling rivalry.
Yeah. Now my mama, she would definitely pop us upside the head real quick, take her shoe off, and be like, "What are you doing?" So
cool. So what about Jenny? Like, are you like guys may possibly someday like collab together? Musically?
Definitely. Yay. We definitely have talked about some things.
So that's like
we haven't done it yet though. But y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying? I just pop out of nowhere, you know. So
And because of like your vibrant personality, like take me back to like high school. How were you in high school? Were you like the popular chick in high school?
No, I was on home study since 7th grade. So I missed the whole high school experience, which is like the one thing that I'm actually sad about. I mean, even though like in return, it's like we were traveling and like you know getting to experience a lot of things that you know the average high schooler wasn't experiencing, but yeah, I don't know what that feels like. High school is like a complete blur. Like when people are like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to my reunion," I'm like, "What does that feel like?" Like,
and your youngest, she's 16. So she's
in high school, and I'm telling you, she kind of wanted to go on home study. I'm like, trust me, like just finish, like go to prom, like do the whole experience, because you'll regret it like when you're older. Even though we went to prom, but it was whack because we didn't have any emotional ties. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like we were seeing our friends dressed up for the first time and we're like sad because we're never going to see them again, because we didn't know
what that even
any
feels
of the people. Like, we only got to go because my mom knew the principal, and that was our home school. So she was like, okay, yeah, they can go ahead and come for their graduating year. And like, you know, graduation wasn't emotional because it's like you're on home study. You don't know any of the people you're sitting next to. So it's just like weird. Yeah, it's weird. Maybe I should enroll back in high school just to see what it's like. No. Apparently I didn't miss nothing though.
Your sister though.
Like everyone's like, you didn't miss nothing. So I don't know.
And let's talk about like this body, because yes, we're gonna talk about it. Like, how do you keep it all together? Do you work out really often? Like, what's the secret?
I do. I recently have started working out. Like, well, no, like before in the past, like I would only work out like if I was preparing for something, like you know, like tour shows or videos. But just recently, like I was saying, like the last year and a half, like I've made it like a point to be like, I'll go like 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Because me, like I'm not gonna give up eating. So I'd rather go hard in the gym, like, you know what I mean, versus like starve. Like I'm not gonna do that. So it's like, you know, I go up and down, but it's like weird because like when I eat junk food, I like the weight I put on, but then I'm like, you know, in pictures sometimes it's just like, you might want to, you know,
you might want to like slow down.
Yeah, so it's just, to me, honestly, it's all about balance, because I'm like, you still gotta live your life and enjoy. Like I want to enjoy my food, like I said. So if that means I have to go harder in the gym, I'll go harder in the gym. That means I can eat my burgers.
I feel you.
And have my sodas, which is my downfall. It's the soda.
So you keep going hard on this food. Like, what is your favorite food though?
My favorite food, I love Mexican and Italian. Oh. Yeah. Cheese, bread, pasta.
So you will be turned off for tacos. And
tacos. Yes. Taco Tuesday. Is that big out here?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because in LA, it's like everyone's eating tacos on Tuesday. Period. And like a lot of it is like the food trucks. Yeah. So everybody's driving around like, get them tacos. So.
And what are you not eating? Your favorite food?
I don't eat pork.
Oh.
I don't eat pork. But yeah, other than that, I don't eat pork. I don't eat liver. Those are the two things that I know that I just like don't eat. But anything else is pretty like, I'll experiment and eat some like crazy stuff. Yeah, like octopus, alligator. Like I'll eat all that. Yeah, calamari.
Oh my gosh.
Eel. I'll eat that. Yeah, I like sushi a lot. So
I like sushi too.
I won't eat quail egg though. That's weird.
Okay, we're gonna like divert from that because that sounds nasty. Like, so when you go back home, walk me through like what is your week looking like? Like, what does Mila J like does when she's at home? Like when you're just like chilling, like what's your favorite TV shows to watch? When you're just like in your zone, like, you know what I mean?
The thing is, I don't watch TV that often. I prefer like Netflix. Like I love like, or when I do watch TV, I like Snapped.
Oh.
I will sit and watch a whole marathon of that and be like, I need to not. But as soon as the sun starts going down, I'm like, okay, I gotta change it, because then I'll start dreaming about stuff and it messes me up. But like, I love like a really good documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's weird. Like now, as I'm an adult, like I actually really do enjoy like learning. I'm like, oh, this is like so cool, you know. But yeah, I don't really watch a lot of TV. I watch Empire though. I do. I still watch Empire. What other show?
What about Power?
I haven't.
You
seen
haven't
Power.
seen
No,
Power?
I haven't seen Power. I heard that it's really good though. But yeah, I'm not really a homebody.
You go out often.
Yeah, I like to just be out. I don't care what it is. I just like to be out. If it's like hiking, shopping, just anything, like flea markets. I love.
Yeah.
The beach. We do got some bomb beaches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like to be out and be busy.
And the last time,
like walls in the house literally will make me go crazy.
You know, that makes me go crazy.
I know.
So
I literally
can't
get sick. I'll get sick.
No, one time when I was younger, my mom, like, you're not going outside, and I almost died. Like, I'm like, I cannot stay in the house. So I definitely can relate to what you're talking about. Like, can't do it. Yeah. So when you're back at home, other than that, so you're obviously outside with your friends, family. Like, when's the last time you hung out with like all your siblings or like doing something fun?
We were just actually together for Coachella. Yeah, we all went out there, and so that was fun. Even though it was way too hot. That's another thing. I don't like the heat, so I like when it's like fall. Even spring, but like summer is the time I'll be inside because I don't like the sun, or I'll wait till the sun goes down, because I'm just allergic to it. Like, real talk, like I'll get heat rashes all over my face and I'll be passing out. Like, I've tried to do so many like daytime festivals, and then my sisters are like, okay, you can't come no more because I pass out. I ruin the whole experience. So we're literally like, ambulance is coming, like,
horrible.
Like, what's wrong with her? I'm like, sorry, I can't be in the sun. So yeah.
You can't be in the sun and like you're all the way in LA and like sun is just like beaming on you all the time.
It is,
like,
but it depends on where you live though. Like, the valley is unbearable. Like,
yeah.
And I never lived in the valley. Like, when the part I grew up in LA was like 10-15 minutes from the beach, so you still kind of got a breeze. Like, it was actually kind of colder in those areas, but yeah, it's not like the valley heat. The valley heat is unbearable. Orange County gets hot too, but yeah, it's not.
All right, cool. So I heard you're like going on tour in Australia, right? Are you excited about that? Like, anxious? Like, talk about that.
I am, because I've never been. Like, so I'm super excited. I heard it's real pretty.
Yeah.
So I'm like getting ready to prepare to just be shooting on my phone everywhere. I'm gonna turn everything into a photo shoot.
Might as well. You should.
Yeah, I want to see the kangaroos. I heard the kangaroos run around like dogs. So yeah, I'm trying to go box with a kangaroo. I'm just playing. I don't want to box with a kangaroo.
I would hope not. When would you be leaving for that though?
That's in June.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, wait, what month is this? May. Yeah, so next month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question. Hear me out. So if a young Mila J walked up to you today and said, hey, I really want to be like you, you're dope, like I love your style, your energy, what would you tell her? What's your advice to her?
What would I tell her?
Yeah, think about it, because this is young Mila J. You can't leave her, hanging out there in the dry.
What would I tell my younger self? To just listen to yourself, like your gut. Trust my instinct.
Right.
Because I think sometimes, like, especially when you're young and you're not experienced, like, you'll kind of, and you feel something's right or wrong, but you'll kind of be like, well, but maybe not. You're kind of a little more optimistic, so speaking, kind of like, not saying more open, but you'll talk yourself out of something that probably wasn't right. You know what I'm saying? And so I would definitely just know to tell her to trust her gut instinct. Yeah. And
obviously that has gotten you where you are today, like trusting like your own gut.
I definitely have learned through experience though, because like I said, sometimes I would have talked myself out or let other people kind of get in my head and be like, well, no, maybe you should try this, maybe you should do this, and it's like, now I know, like, no, listening to myself, to my animal instinct that was given to me. And sometimes I can't tell you why, but I'll be like, no, I'm making this decision just because I feel it. Like, and you can't really explain it to nobody else. It's just something that you know. So, but now I know, like, I've made much better decisions by following that than, doing the opposite. So
totally, I get that. So what, do you have like an album coming out soon? Like any other projects you're working on?
Yeah, the album.
Talk about?
The album will be coming out before the end of the year. So I mean, it's predominantly done, but I feel like you're never done until it's about to be released. Because like I said, I'll record all the time. So I mean, you never know. I could look up in 2 months and be like, I'm about to put out another EP just because I want to put some music out. But yeah, so that's next, and then I'm getting into some acting. So
acting. So hold on. This is another secret talent that you have, or something like you never.
It's kind of a secret, but not really. Well, I actually shot my first project like last year. I don't really know like where it's coming out where, so I don't even say too much about it. But I did. That was like my first experience of doing that, so it was really fun just because it's completely different than being an artist. I feel like, because like artists like all about being yourself, and then acting is like totally opposite. Like you're not yourself, so you like you gotta get used to like, oh, you gotta wear your hair like this, and you're like, but I don't know, this is not me. But then you forget, well, you're not playing you know. So it was definitely a different world, but I liked it. So I was like, okay, I want to pursue more of this. So I've been dabbling in that.
Cool.
That world.
So like, wow, dancing, acting, singing, rapping, like.
I'm trying to. You got to cover all bases.
You have to do it. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Cool. So, thank you for like having this conversation with me. Like, this was amazing. Thanks. Like, and I wish you nothing.
And then next time you got to give me a tour of Harlem.
Oh no, I will. I got you. If you were like, I'm just so mad that you want to stay a little bit longer because now I'm like, I really want to bring you.
Well, maybe I'll miss my flights.
No, you're not.
Well, maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud because they've all heard me, so they're gonna make sure I get up. But no,
all right.
I love New York. It's definitely, if I had to move anywhere, it would be here.
But you would say this is your next favorite city?
Yeah, here in Portland are like my favorite.
Cool. Well, the next time we come back to New York City, yes, we should hit up with the Harlem. All right, cool. So thank you, Mila J.
Thank you. Huggies.